Welcome to helpermath.com. This question is about the student loan. Let's see it, right? It's still the simple interest. Any government issued or federal issued student loan will be simple interest, right? Let's see the question. Vivian borrows 12,724 in student loan each year, right? Each year. The student loan interest are 7.53% in simple interest. And at the end, after 4 years, right, how much will she owe? And also round the digit into 2 decimal places. Right, so which means what? Which means for a timeline, right, the first year in the beginning, she borrows this amount of money. In the second year, in the beginning, she borrowed the same amount of money again. In the beginning of the third year, she borrowed again. And in the beginning of the fourth year, she borrowed this amount again. So she borrowed 4 times of $12,724. She borrowed that 4 times. But when we apply to the interest, we'll see what is going on, right? So that's the timeline for the present value. And at the end, future value, we will see how much will she get. Right. So principal and the year of at the end of 1, 2, 3, 4 to get this one, right? So for the first year, she got the principal and will pay 1, 2, 3, 4 payments to get right, for the first payment for the first principal she borrowed. For the first year she borrowed, right? The beginning of the first year she borrowed 12,724, and she needs to pay 4 interest payment, right? 4 of the annual interest payment, right? And for the second year she borrowed the money again, and that amount of money, 12,724 again, she needs to pay 1, 2, 3 interest payment at the end of the fourth year. She needs to pay 3 interest payment annually into the last year. For the beginning of the third year, when she borrowed 12,724, she needs to get 1, 2 annual interest payment at the end of the year 4, right? Because that's a 2-year time period for the amount of money she borrowed in the beginning of the year 2. I mean, year 3, right? She need to pay the third year and the fourth year annual interest payment. And the last principal she borrowed, that's 1 year annual interest payment she need to pay for it. Right, so from the diagram we have, she have 4 principals and 4, 3, 2, 1. That is 10 total annual interest payment. Right, so after 4 years, she'll have 4 principals to pay, and together with 10 total annual interest payments to pay. Right, so for that account or for that student loan, she'll have 4 principals plus 10 of the annual interest payment. And we know the annual interest payment will be just the principal multiplied by the rate. in our question, the principal is 12,724. And we have 10 times of the payment of the interest. That interest is 10 times of the payment or principal multiplied by the annual interest rate, 7.53%. Right, and when we multiply them together, 4 times of the payment is 50,896. And the interest payment we get 10 times or 10 annual interest, since the first year have 4, second year have 3, third year have 2, and the fourth year beginning have 1 year annual interest payment. Together, that's 10 annual interest payment total. That's 9,581.172. And when we add together, that's 60,477.172. And finally, we're able to round it. Into the amount of payments you need to make, or the total amount of money she owes, right, at the end of the fourth year. That's $60,477.17. I just round it. Right. So that is what the amount she has borrowed, and the total amount of annual interest you need to make, and the total future value she has to pay to the student loan account. All right, thank you.